G'day, we're on holiday until Friday, July 11, when we'll be back with episode 417 of The Other Side for 2025. But right now, here's a flashback clip from the first half of the year. Here in the United Kingdom, the Conservative Party lost the last election, losing 251 of the 365 seats they held in the Westminster Parliament right behind me. That was some whopping defeat, the worst for a political party in the UK in 120 years. And it's seen the emergence of a new political party called Reform. That's led by Nigel Farage, and it got the third highest number of votes. And since the election, Reform has just been going from strength to strength. It now outpolls the Labour Party and the Conservative Party, running at around 27% support compared to the other parties' 25 and 21% respectively. Now, this might explain why the new Conservative Party leader and opposition leader of the United Kingdom, KEMI Badenoch, had a very conservative lean to her presentation as the Prime Speaker at ARC this week.
Western civilization is in crisis. Our ideas and our culture have dominated the world for well over 2 centuries. This is not a crisis of values. It's a crisis of confidence that has set in at exactly the same time that we face existential threats. On the left, this self-doubt manifests as an embarrassment of the West's legacy, and in extremists, a hatred of Western history and even its culture. But what about the right? We know that the West has given the world amazing ideas and values, from democracy and free markets to our banking systems. Yet around us, we see so much cultural and economic decline, we doubt ourselves. We doubt our ability to build like our predecessors did. We doubt liberal values of tolerance or free trade, demanding a post-liberal world. It's not liberal values that are the problem. It's weakness. Last week, 2 surveys were released that should alarm everyone in this room. Almost half of young Brits think their country is racist. Nearly 60% of them are not proud to be British. Nearly 40% of the fighting age population wouldn't fight for our country under any circumstances. More than half of those aged between 13 and 27 said the UK would be a better place if a strong leader was in charge who does not have to bother with Parliament and elections. A dictator.
So that is where our young are at. Similar surveys in the United States and Germany have shown similar results. And I reckon if we did a survey like that in Australia, it'd probably turn up exactly the same results at home as well.
I would say to those young people, I understand your anger, but be careful what you wish for. I was born in London, but grew up in a country with a military dictatorship and strong leaders who did away with pesky liberal values like democracy because people voted in bad politicians. They stopped free speech because some used it to offend. In the 1960s, many former British colonies in Africa decided to move on from British values. A lot of people preferred strongman politics and ethnic nationalism to democracy and pluralism. But when they got it, they didn't like it. Strongmen had lots of words, but no plan. They ran everything and delivered nothing. They flogged teachers, shot journalists, people disappeared, dead bodies were found on the streets. Without the ability to speak freely or trade freely, the government controlled everything, and wealth became hard to create and easy to destroy. So let's remember what we are defending here. Not just our wealth, but our culture. A culture built on those values we've taken for granted. Classic liberal values, not left-wing liberalism, but classic liberalism of free markets, free speech, free enterprise, freedom of religion, the presumption of innocence, the rule of law and equality under it. no matter who you are or where you come from.
KEMI BADENOCH, the UK Conservative Party leader, speaking at ARC this week. She says the real problem with the left's grip on the young is that their ideology has absolutely nothing to do with kindness or freedom.
This is the real poison of left-wing progressivism. Whether it's pronouns or DEI or climate activism, these issues aren't about kindness. They are about control. We have limited time, and every second spent debating what a woman is a second lost from dealing with these challenges.
Badenoch says loopholes in liberalism that have been corrupted and manipulated by the left are at the heart of what's gone wrong.
We have been hacked. Rule of law is what built so much of the West. It is in the corruption of the rule of law itself that we see where the problems begin. The most extraordinary example is how the European Convention on Human Rights, designed to stop the persecution of individuals by the state, is now weaponized by those who wish to erode our national identity and border security. One case involved a man who was allowed to stay. It was claimed that his son disliked foreign chicken nuggets. In another, a drug dealer reportedly avoids deportation because of his daughter's gender identity issues. But we were members of this convention for half a century without this madness. What's changed? It's not the values, it's the people. They are afraid of creating any kind of conflict. They use the most novel and expansive interpretations of human rights law to avoid it. And we see that lack of confidence now in everything from law and order to national defense. A fear of sticking up for young girls being abused by rape gangs over so many decades so as not to upset community relations.
The UK rape gang crisis is so obscene that it's almost impossible to fathom. But what's even more impossible to fathom was that it was covered up for so long and allowed to continue for so long, all in the name of woke ideology and not wanting to cause offence. One of the main messages that KEMI BADENOCH had for the crowd is that it's time for classical liberals and conservatives to no longer live on our knees, that we have to stand up, be strong, not weak, and speak out loudly. She says every one of us has got to rock the boat and play our part.
So how do we defend? Conservatives are the guardians of Western civilization. We do need to defend what we have, but many have forgotten how to do so. It requires bravery and not endless compliance at the threat of legal challenge. Millions of people all around the world want to live in the West because they want the benefits. However, some of them bring behaviors, cultures, and practices that will undermine the West and the values that helped make us great. They find common cause with our useful idiots who don't appreciate their own inheritance. And it starts by telling the truth. A country cannot be successful if its people and its intellectual elite don't believe in it. This means dealing with the poisoning of minds that is happening in higher education. We have been naive on economic growth. We have been naive on issues from net zero to immigration, weakening ourselves and strengthening our competitors.
KEMI delivered a very, very firm message on the problem of too much, too fast immigration. I really hope Peter Dutton was listening and taking notes, because if the Australian Liberal Party doesn't start to get stronger on issues, doesn't stop following the left and always being on the defensive, doesn't take the lead, then it will go the way of the UK Conservative Party. The UK Conservative Party now has to claw its way back from near oblivion just to remain relevant.
Immigration is far too high. We cannot support all those who wish to come to our country. We have no obligation to do so. The British people must come first. We cannot keep racking up debt for our children. It was fiscal weakness, not just war, that led to the decline of the Roman Empire. We need smaller government and smarter spending. The belief that the state and not business creates wealth has become normalized. The world owes no one a living. Millions of people cannot just sit on welfare and expect to be paid to do so. And if they don't like it, that's their problem, not the state's. Our country is not racist. We don't need to apologize. We don't need to pay reparations or give away the Chagos Islands. Free speech matters. Some cultures are better than others, and it's only contentious to say this because honesty has become impossible. People should not be afraid to speak out. We will be proud of our country. Most of all, we need to get up off our knees and start fighting, not just for the UK, but for the West and our values again.
And that was UK opposition leader KEMI Badenoch speaking at the ARC conference in London this week and explaining how she intends to bring her party back from the brink of annihilation. That was a flashback clip from the first half of the year of The Other Side. We're on our mid-year break right now. We're back on Friday, July 11 with brand new content. Make sure you join us then. Friday, July 11 for the second half of the year with The Other Side. If you like The Other Side, one of the best ways you can support us is by signing up for the products of our sponsors. And one of our best sponsors is PIA VPN, the virtual private network that stops people spying on your internet activity. It'll keep you and your family truly safe from the prying eyes of big governments and corporations without slowing down your internet speeds. And you can watch Netflix or other streaming services using your regular accounts with them as if you're viewing from any country in the world. You can sign up for less than $3 a month and get a whopping 83% off the normal price. Just go to piavpn.com/otherside to sign up and you'll get the discount. And you'll get more info on those special deals if you check it out. That's piavpn.com/otherside.